Okay, do this. Hello everyone. It feels like quite a long time since I have filmed a sit-down chat video, and I feel a little bit nervous about making this one, I won't lie. It's hard to know sort of where to start. I feel like for me personally, it's been brewing for a very long time. It's something that I have been thinking about for the last 2 years. I'll be honest, I didn't know if I was going to share it or if I was going to be in a place where I felt comfortable and confident enough to share it. I've never talked about it anywhere, and believe it or not, although I do put my life online on different social media platforms, I am actually quite a private person, and so yeah, it's something that I have never addressed, never talked about anywhere. The whole reason I started this YouTube channel, this one in particular, was because I was pregnant and I had followed lots of other people on pregnancy journeys because I felt kind of alone and didn't know what to expect, and it really helped me. And then I ended up doing the same thing and doing like a pregnancy journey. In turn, that helped other people, and I still get messages today, over 10 years later, from people saying how much those pregnancy updates helped them. That's really what kind of swayed me to thinking I am going to share this journey. So yeah, sharing my personal journey of pregnancy was something I did on here way before YouTube and social media became my job, and it was before I even knew that it could be a job even. The term influencer wasn't a thing. I'm making myself sound really old now. But yeah, I am a little bit nervous about sharing it because I know it's a topic that there is always going to be like judgment around, but I think I'm so comfortable now with myself and my decision that I just feel like it's worth sharing. So with that being said, I am going to be having my breast implants taken out this year. I've never talked anywhere about even having them. I don't really ever get them out. I mean, I suppose the only time I really get them out is when I'm wearing a sports bra, if I'm doing like a fitness video or something like that. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I was 22 when I had my breast implants put in. That is a very long time ago. I am now 35, so I've had these implants in for a third of my life. When I decided to have these put in, I really do feel like it came from a place of insecurity. I felt like in order to feel like a woman, to feel more feminine, I felt like I needed to have that body shape. I think a lot of that kind of derived from how I sort of grew up in the 90s and the noughties. There was like this big movement in the media where so many women were getting implants, and it was really kind of upheld as this like beauty ideal to have implants and be skinny. And I was obviously like a young, susceptible girl. I felt like I was lacking because I had a flat chest. And it's funny because I feel a little bit emotional about it, but I feel sad that my younger self felt like that, because I don't feel like that now at all. My whole opinion on my body has completely flipped. My body has been through a lot. It's had 2 pregnancies, 2 miscarriages. I have a tear down my abdomen. I have shoulder injuries. You know, like anyone at the age of 35, my body's been put through a lot. So I have so much respect for it and how it is, no matter what it looks like at this point. And I sort of wish that I, as a 35-year-old, could go back to my 22-year-old self and be like, you don't need to fit into whatever ideal you think society has. You don't need to fit into that. You are perfect exactly how you are, and it doesn't matter about your body shape. It matters about how you take care of yourself mentally and physically. So yeah, there's that element of me almost feeling sad for myself at that age. It's so young to do that kind of like change to your body. It's such a big decision to make. I honestly think when I was 22 and I decided to do that, I didn't think like in the long term at all. I was kind of hedonistic back then, as you would be at that age, and I was just like, I want boobs, so I'm gonna get them. And I didn't think, oh, what about breastfeeding? What about in 10 years' time if I want them, or what if there's complications? I was very lucky that there wasn't any complications, and I've never had any complications with my implants. But it wasn't something that I thought about at that age. I don't know, I was just always really painfully aware of that part of my body, and to the point where I was on Facebook the other day looking for pictures of myself when I was younger, just to kind of get an idea and remember like what I used to look like, because it's been such a long time. And I was so good at kind of covering up this part of my body that I literally found one picture of me in a bikini the year before I had my implants done, and that's the only picture I can find where you can actually see that I have a small chest. And I was wearing a really good padded bikini top that I'd borrowed from a friend. I just remember going on that holiday and feeling like, oh God, like, how do I cover this part of me? Which again just makes me feel really sad for myself, and I feel like that's really only something I've overcome literally in the last year. Even though I have implants now, I feel like the trip that we took last year to Portugal was really liberating for me in terms of realising that this body is a gift and that it doesn't matter what it looks like. And I felt like in Portugal everyone's really liberated, everybody just walks around in a thong, and I'm just like there in my whole one piece covering up my whole body, ashamed of all my stretch marks and my implants, and just, I don't know, it just gave me a really refreshing perspective, and it really kind of solidified the decision that I've made in terms of taking the implants out. So when I had the implants put in, I chose to get the smallest size that I could have. And what I would say is that I never really regretted having them put in. I really enjoyed having that shape, especially in my early 20s. It made me feel good, it gave me a confidence boost, and I mean, yeah, I've just enjoyed them. And now I feel like I have been on such a, I hate this word, but like I feel I've been on such a journey over the last 3 to 4 years where I feel like I'm kind of coming back home to myself and kind of stepping into a really more authentic version of myself. Like I feel like I'm entering a new season of my life where I'm not trying to be anything anymore, and I just feel comfortable with who I am. And so for me, in terms of how I live my life now, I'm living a much more natural life in regards to like what I choose to eat, what I choose to put on my body, just generally in my everyday life. The implants don't align with who I am anymore. Not placing any judgment on anyone who decides to have implants or not have implants or whatever. I just think all bodies are incredible. I have friends who have implants, I have friends who have natural breasts, I have friends who have had their implants taken out, and so it's just all like whatever you want to do to your own body. I'm very much of the opinion that if it makes you feel great, do it. If it doesn't make you feel great, don't do it. But yeah, I think as I've grown older and my kids have gotten older, I have kind of come to the natural conclusion that my femininity and who I am as a person isn't dependent on how I look and whether or not I have breasts or I don't have breasts. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I hope maybe some of you can relate to it. I don't know, it's quite a personal thing, isn't it? Yeah, so for me, the decision to have them out just seems to be, it just feels really right in my gut. I feel really excited about it. It's not something that I have just randomly decided to do or randomly decided to suddenly do. I've been thinking about this for 2 years now. I've only really just taken action on that. So I recently found a surgeon and had a consultation with him. He made me feel very, very comfortable. It gave me so much information without overloading me, and I just feel like he's the right person to do the surgery for me. I'll talk a little bit about the consultation. So I went in and he kind of asked me a lot more questions than I thought he would, and they seem to be more kind of like psychological questions about why I wanted to do it. I think my reasons were basically just wanting to be more natural. I miss sleeping on my stomach. I really enjoy exercise and I feel like they're in my way quite a lot. I don't know, I feel sort of like weighed down by them, and especially when I'm sleeping on my back, I feel like I almost just want to like rip them out. I just feel so ready to kind of have my body back. I know it won't feel like my body for a little bit. I know it's going to be like a new body because I have my like post-baby tummy and I have my like post-baby, post-breast implant boobs, so it's probably going to feel a bit alien for a while, and I feel like I've really prepared myself for that. But he also did prepare me for that by showing me some before and after pictures, just so I can kind of get a realistic insight as to what the aesthetic outcome might look like. And obviously there is that element of being slightly worried about the aesthetic outcome, because you don't really know what that's going to look like on a person-to-person basis. Obviously, when you have implants put in, you sort of know you're going to feel good, you sort of know you're going to like the look of it, but taking them out is a different story, right? So that is going to be an interesting little ride for me, I think. Another reason why I want to take them out is that as I get older, I'm just really aware that I can't really check my boobs properly. So for me, that's like quite an important reason. Aesthetically, it's not something that I am really bothered by anymore. Back to being flat-chested will suit my frame more, and I don't know, I just genuinely think that I don't know, it's like a weird shedding thing. I just want to get rid of them. I want to be free of them. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. I just thought I would share the journey. I do think the journey is probably going to be quite up and down in terms of like, it's a very big outward change. So I feel very psychologically prepared, but also it's one thing saying something and another thing kind of going through something, isn't it? So we will see. I also remember when I was maybe like as young as like 10 or 11, I read this book. I feel like so many of you are going to be like, oh my God, I read that too and I did that too. I read this book by Judy Blume called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And there's a bit in this book, it's like a coming of age story. There's a bit in this book where she wants bigger boobs and she does this exercise where she like goes like this with her arms. I must improve my bust like this. And bearing in mind, this was like the era before the internet was a thing. I read this book and I just thought that it was something I could do to get boobs. So I remember sitting in my bedroom every night and doing this exercise, the must improve my bust exercise. Obviously it didn't work, but I just remember from a very young age not being comfortable with having a very small chest. Yeah, it kind of for me stemmed from a very, very young age. Anyway, I feel like I have really made my peace with my decision over the last couple of years, and it's something that I really want for myself. I've had these implants for a third of my life, and I just feel like I want to go back to my natural body and my natural aesthetic, whatever that may look like. I will deal with the consequences of my decision. My next consultation with my surgeon is in a month's time, so I will probably do an update then. I think he's going to tell me more details about the surgery and what to expect. So yeah, I will take you on this journey with me. I hope that it does help somebody out there if you're thinking of having them in or you're thinking of having them out. Either way, I hope that this is a positive thing to put out there. And yeah, I will see you all soon. Please be nice in the comments.